Hey guys, so I wanted to sit down and film this video today to share with you guys an update about Nova because I know Nova was an extremely huge part of my life and she was so important to me, and I've been sharing my life and Nova with you guys since I first got her. I made videos of when I first rescued her and just our entire time together. I've shared it with you guys. When all this happened, obviously I feel like the normal person thing to do would be to wait and let things settle down before I actually sit down and film this video. But I wanted to just get it out there and tell everyone as soon as possible because I just don't see this getting easier for me to talk about anytime soon, so I'd rather just get it over with, let you guys know now. We can all just appreciate all of the time that we had with Nova and we can grieve together. Nova passed away really early this morning and it was so fast and so sudden, like did not see it coming at all, and she was acting just completely normal yesterday evening. She was such an amazing dog, and she was so unique and just so unlike any other dog I've ever met before, and I think what makes it so much harder for me is knowing that I'll probably never find a dog just like Nova, you know? Like, she was so special. Like I said yesterday, Nova was acting completely normal up until the evening. Around 10 or 11 p.m., she started to just act really strange all of the sudden out of nowhere. She was just laying on the floor and she didn't want to move. She was acting really lethargic, which is kind of normal for her, but it was different. Normally she's my shadow. She follows me everywhere. It doesn't really matter what she's doing. She could be fast asleep, but if I leave the room, she's going to be following me, and that's just how it is. So I thought it was really strange when I went upstairs and she did not follow me upstairs after a while. She was still laying on the floor downstairs and I was calling for her and she still didn't want to get up and move. I ended up bringing her upstairs, and at this point I thought it was a little bit weird, but I wasn't thinking too much of it. I just thought maybe she wasn't feeling good, or maybe she was scared of something, like we were packing things and I thought the loud sound of the packing tape maybe scared her or something, because sometimes she gets freaked out by certain things and then she'll go and hide. But yeah, I brought her upstairs and she was still acting really weird, and Maddie took a look inside her mouth and noticed that her gums were pale white, like they were really, really pale, and to the touch, her mouth was cold. Like it felt like touching the inside of the fridge. Like literally, it was like cold to the touch. So after we noticed her mouth was really pale and she was really cold inside her mouth, we figured that it really isn't a good sign. So I decided to take her to the emergency vet. Now, first I took her to the emergency vet close to my house, and they were completely busy. Keep in mind, it's like probably 1 a.m. at this point. They're completely busy, said they can't get me in, and so I had to go somewhere else. So I took Nova to another emergency vet that was like 20 minutes away. They originally told me it was going to be a 1 to 2 hour wait, but I didn't really have much of a choice because there aren't very many 24-hour emergency vets around me. I don't have that many options. So I was like, that's fine. I'll just sit in the car and wait, like whatever. And then we were on the phone going through all the symptoms and stuff and what I noticed was wrong with Nova. And then they told me to pull up because they wanted to take a look at her. They took a look at her, took a look inside her mouth, and they were like, yeah, this really isn't looking good, so we're going to take her inside. They were checking her out, doing tests, whatever. It was probably around 40 minutes, and then they were like, yeah, it looks like she has internal bleeding. So there was something inside of her bleeding, and she was like filling up with a bunch of extra blood in her abdomen area, and they didn't know what was causing it. So they kind of said, you know, we can either keep doing tests and do scans and stuff and see if we see anything. It's probably a tumor that ruptured. We can do these tests and put her on fluid, and we can try to see if we can figure out what's causing this, or if you'd like, we could euthanize her, and that would also be a completely viable option at this point. And I said that I wanted to figure out what was causing it, because I didn't want to like just give up, you know. I wanted to try to figure out what was going on and see if there's a way we could fix it. Probably for another hour, hour and a half, for a while there. They were doing all kinds of other tests, and basically they said that they think that the internal bleeding was caused by a ruptured tumor, but they couldn't actually locate where the tumor was. The vet that was on staff, you know, really early this morning on a Sunday wasn't someone who really specialized in looking for that sort of thing and doing the ultrasounds. So he said that what they would like to do is keep her there until Monday, where she could get looked at more by someone else and hopefully find where the tumor was located. And they gave me just like a bunch of different scenarios of what could happen, and basically they said they could find one tumor, and if they find it, they can perform surgery, which is obviously going to be very hard on her because Nova is a pretty old dog and she isn't in very good shape right now. And they could try to remove the tumor. Scenario one is they remove the tumor and everything's good and she gets better, but scenario two, and the more likely scenario, was they remove the tumor and she has cancer, because there's a very good chance that these tumors are cancerous. And she's half boxer. She's, you know, around 9 years old is my guess. I rescued her, so I really don't know. Boxers are very prone to cancer. The chances of it being cancer was very likely, but there's also the chance that she wouldn't make it through the surgery. And there's also the chance that they would find multiple tumors, in which case she also wouldn't make it. Now, money isn't my number one concern in this situation. Obviously, if I knew that there was a price to pay where I could pay this price and Nova would be better for sure, and she wouldn't be in pain, she wouldn't be suffering, and she would recover and be just normal the way she was before today, then I would do whatever I could to pay it, you know. But basically, if I decided to keep her there till Monday, get all the extra tests done, do the surgery, I'd basically be looking at paying close to $10,000. There's just no guarantee that she would be okay, that there's only one tumor, that it's not cancer, that she's gonna make it. As it was, while they were having her there too, I forgot to mention, they had her on fluids. They had her on supplemental heat because her body temperature was only 95, and a dog's body temperature is supposed to be over 100 degrees, so her body was really cold. Her blood pressure was extremely low. They originally said they couldn't detect her blood pressure, but then it got high enough to a point where they could read it, but then they said it started to decline pretty fast again. So they said that there was a pretty good chance she was going to need blood transfusions as well as staying on the fluids and everything just to keep her stable until Monday. She was just very uncomfortable, and I think she was in a lot of pain. Even when I was driving her to the vet, she was in the back of my car literally just whimpering, and I just didn't want to prolong her suffering at all. Of course, I would love to take the chance, and hopefully in the end everything would work out in my favor. It wasn't worth the risk to me that I was going to keep her there until Monday and she was going to suffer until then. And then I was going to make her go through surgery where the odds just really aren't in our favor. And she's either going to die during the surgery, or she's going to not recover from the surgery, or, you know, they'll remove the tumor and then she has cancer and then she just continues to decline after the surgery. And I didn't want it to get to a point where I was just watching her from that point on just continue to decline and get worse and be in more pain and suffering than she would have been if I just made the choice to put her down. It was a really difficult decision to make because she was, you know, completely fine earlier in the day. Like, Maddie literally filmed her at like 5 p.m. bouncing around her bedroom like she always does, and she was just completely fine. Like, she wasn't showing any signs of anything, and just so crazy how fast that changed. And it was just so hard for me to have to make this decision to euthanize her when, like, less than a day before she was normal. But I just couldn't see it getting better for her, so I'd like to think that I made the right decision for her, and I decided, you know, I want to like just do what's right for her. I don't want to try to prolong it and keep her around just for me. So they ended up letting us come in and spend some time with her. Yeah, she just really wasn't looking very well. You could tell she was really uncomfortable. That's basically what happened. I had to get Nova put to sleep, and it's just crazy how fast everything happened. So they think that there was a tumor somewhere. They still don't really know where the tumor was. It just doesn't even feel real because of how fast everything happened. So she was put to sleep early this morning. I was at the emergency vet literally all night into the morning. I know this is so depressing, and I probably should have waited at least like a couple days. But like I said, I just wanted to get this over with, and I wanted to tell you guys because it was really important for me to let you guys know what was going on, because I didn't want to just ghost everyone for a few days. And I often obviously share all of the amazing parts of owning pets and how wonderful everything is, but this is something that really sucks about pet ownership, and it's something that you have to deal with. And I've showed my journey with Nova on my channel thus far, and this is part of our journey, so I wanted to include this as well. It just sucks how short these animals are in our lives for, and especially because I rescued Nova only about 4 years ago, and she was already a little bit older when I rescued her, so that gave us even less time together. But it's just crazy how in that short amount of time she made such a huge impact on my life, and so many of you guys on the internet fell in love with her, and everyone just loved Nova so much. And like I said, she was such a unique and special dog, and it hurts knowing that I'm probably never gonna find a dog that special, or another dog exactly like Nova. It just isn't going to happen. I just thought I had more time with her, and I just wasn't ready for this to happen. So yeah, I'm sorry that I had to tell you guys this with me ugly crying in a video on my channel, but don't know how else it was gonna happen. So yeah, rest in peace, Snova. I guess that's basically it. I just wanted to give you guys this announcement and tell you guys what happened with Nova so everyone knew. I want to thank everyone on Twitter and Instagram who reached out to me, and everyone who left messages and comments and said really nice things. I read literally everyone's comment. Just thank you for all your love and support. I really appreciate it.